Hello everyone, my name is Mathis Arundel, and welcome to Sims 2 River Blossom Hills, where I have a little bit of a problem. You see, I play 1 in-game day equals 1 year in my sim save. That's how I have their aging system set up, and in my River Blossoms, 80 years have passed. That means a lot of Sims have aged. And I don't mean just the obvious playable Sims and all that, I also mean a bunch of townies. Because the way that I play is that if a playable sim is friends or greater with a townie, that townie ages with them. Whether they're, a child, teen, or adult, they age. And when they become an elder, they eventually die. Also, a lot of townies have married into or interacted with families in other ways. Like, we have Sinjin Kordirk, and Chase Trottier has had children in this one particular family. This is the McGregor family. Or they have directly married into the family. Like Virginia Gauthier here has married into the family, became a playable, and aged naturally that way. And if there's like a romance sim, like Morticia here, actually Alvin too, even if they're not friends, if they've ever had Woohoo, which I think he is friends with all of his Woohoo mates here, but if they were just had Woohoo through ACR or whatever, I think that there were some, at one point she was with Michael Kim. Yeah, it's best friends forever, but if that wasn't there, they wouldn't be Kims, and, if he was a townie, I wouldn't count him as a friend. That sort of thing. And so my townie population has really, really dropped. I have so few to pick from anymore, because I was playing a new family. Well, I guess it's not a new family, this is technically the Omaki family, but we have here, one of the Sims is having Woohoo with Michelle C., who is, I believe, not a down townie, an apartment townie, added with apartment life. And pretty much all of the River Blossom townies are gone. All we have left are the ones from apartment life. And I really just need to have some more. Who's Susan Omaki? She doesn't live here, but she's a family member. But I need more townies. So I thought maybe it's time to add some new townies, some fresh blood to River Blossom. And yes, I could absolutely just have the playable families intermarry and all that, but they're already, a lot of them are closely related, and I don't want to have just one gigantic circle of a family tree. So I don't want to do that. And another reason that I don't want, or I do want to make some townies, is that I have some custom skins. So I want to keep Sims fairly realistic to a point. I don't want to use super fantasy skins like this in River Blossom, but I do have these Sims right here. They're the Strawberry Patch Maxis match from Aqualectrics, and they are an edit of, Purple Pulse's skin. And they're virtually the same as Purple Pulse skin, it's just that they are geneticized. So if I add them to the game, they will mix like the regular skin tones. It's just that they are like intermediary steps. Like this is 1 stage darker than skin 4, and this is 1 stage lighter than skin 1. So I want to use these and mix them up into the town, just so that way we have a little bit more variety. So this is a double dark, which is 1 stage above skin 4. And this is what I had, if you watched my Legacy Challenge, this is what I had James as, but that was immediately bred out of him. So at one point I might need to do some more townies in my Legacy Challenge. But for right now, let's just make some Sims for River Blossom Hills. So I'm going to use the name Arbora. I'm going to try to keep the names somewhat related to River Blossom Hills. I know that not all the Sims in River Blossom Hill, maybe none of them besides the Greenman, have anything to do with seasons or gardening or anything like that, but I'm still going to try to stick to that. So, I'm going to have her at skin, I'm going to have her far, whatever you want to call this, double dark, and this is double light. So that's what we'll call the skins, double dark and double light. We're going to give her probably black hair. This is probably fine, but maybe something else. I really probably need to download some more afro hairs. I don't really like using CC too much that looks completely different from Maxis. But it's like, there's like very few like black hairs in the base, or like in The Sims 2, you know. Like, we have these, they're okay. These are some hairs that I have downloaded, and they are, I think, fairly close to The Sims 2 hairs. You might want to call it Max's Match, is something that I think people would call it. This one is too. I'm not a big fan of like the clay hairs that you get from Sims 4 conversions. Alright, I think we'll good for this hair for right now. And then we'll give her 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hi, Sable. You gonna help me make some Sims? Yeah. We'll give her face 4. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'm just gonna edit them a little bit. I'm not gonna have them super unique, as I think part of having townies is that they do just have the basic face templates, but I will change them a little bit. And just randomly, not this one, never this one, and just like little teeny tiny edits here and there. These are also fantasy eyes that I have here. I'm not going to use those. I'm going to use the base eyes. It doesn't really matter. Brown is fine. And my crowns. I have these crowns for a side thing that I'm doing that's not... I don't know if it'll ever show up on the channel. But, yeah, let's give her some glasses. Why not? Those are Delilah O'Keefe glasses. Who is in this... Well, no, she's not anymore. She passed away. Alright. Clothing time. Well, let's start with her personality. What is she? So I'm gonna randomize it. Echo, roll a number between 1 and 12. Alright, so I got an 8 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she's a Scorpio. And I'm going to just edit these slightly, not a whole lot. I'll put some points in Sirius. And then I think that's probably fine. So she's fairly active and a little bit serious, not really, not super nice, fairly neat. I am going to go ahead and say that they are a fortune sim. It doesn't matter what their likes and turnoffs are. We'll say brown here. We'll say athletic and doesn't like custom hair. So now we have a name for her. So she is... let's say that her name is... There we go. So we have Jaina Arbora. Jaina Arbora, rather. So she's done, and then we'll create another sim with the same last name. They won't be related, they're going to be townies, but we'll create another sim with the same last name. We'll do the double light now, and this will be another woman, I believe. And I did absolutely forget that I need to change the clothes of the last townie. That is my bad. I am sorry about that. We will get that in just a second. So let's finish her up here. So we need her personality too. Echo, roll a d12.
Okay, it starts bad. Roll 1d12 and got 10.
So if this is 1, then this is 11, 12. So this is Capricorn, right? Let's double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. So she's a Capricorn. Wow. So she's super lazy, very playful, very neat. I'm going to take a few points out of outgoing and give them to... we'll do this. Yeah, that looks fine. And we'll give them the family aspiration. That's what I usually give for people who have a lot of playfulness and a lot of neatness. Again, these don't really matter. She likes swimsuits. unemployed, and she doesn't like seeing people in their underwear because she thinks it's inappropriate. So let's get her some clothing. Family sim. Something probably modest. Nothing too showy. Maybe even like a dress. Can we go to the season's clothing and look at dresses? Alright, so... probably not these. These look a little bit too revealing for what I would consider a family sim. There really isn't anything else there other than just the outdoor clothes. But I like these two. These are like, see, these are more like summer dresses. I don't think they're sundresses, but they're definitely summer dresses. I know that these are meant for like over for business, but that is very much what I think she would wear. I think that is very nice clothing. And then for dresses or for formal, same thing, something that would cover her underwear. If she doesn't like underwear, so she probably wear a bathrobe, pajamas, basic, cover her whole with swimsuit and athletic, and then again probably a nice shade like that. There we go. So this is Eleonora. I don't know how to spell the name. Eleonora. Let's name it like how it was spelled. That way I know how to spell it. So Eleonora. That's probably not how you actually spell the name, but that's how she spells the name. So she's done. So let's go ahead and give Jaina a quick edit here. Now, Jaina is not necessarily super serious, but she is fortune-minded, so she might not be like wearing a full-on suit, but she will want to wear something like kind of nice in case she has some kind of opportunity coming up, I think. So not necessarily something like this. That would be for somebody that's probably super serious that's also, fortune-minded. Again, probably something from Open for Business. Maybe this. Maybe the green one? No, I like this one. Yeah, so I think this one works really well there. And then for formal, maybe this is where she goes out and wears, a very formal dress to like a party or something. Underwear probably doesn't matter. Same with PJs. Swimsuit, she might be a little bit more relaxed. She's, again, midway between playful and serious. And then outerwear and athletic probably doesn't really matter all that much. There we go. Alright, now it's time to make some guys. So this is the Tillers. That's going to be their last name here. We'll start out with this guy. Let's give him some blonde hair. And he'll use... I don't know if I said it or not. He'll use the double light skin here. Echo, roll a d12.
Okay, it's nice bad. Roll 1d12 and got 11.
Alright, we got an 11 here. So this is 12, so that's 11. He's an Aquarius. Let's take a few out of nice and put them in neat. And we're going to make him into a family sim. I know he's no longer an Aquarius. That's not what I'm basing them on. That's just what I'm basing the base off of, and then I edit it. So they're not going to stay whatever their zodiac sign is. But I'm going to have him be another family sim. And then we'll go ahead and say he likes black hair and cologne, and he dislikes plant sims. Even that's relevant in River Blossom Hills. That's actually relevant in River Blossom Hills. So clothing-wise, again, he's a family sim. That doesn't necessarily mean, like, really conservative clothing. He could be, like, a fun dad or something like that, but, it's usually what I go for when they have a family sim. So, just something fairly casual, but also maybe not super showy. Like, something like this, maybe. Or maybe not like these, because those are kind of, like, vaguely formal. I've always liked these I've always really liked these, and I never use them enough. Let's go with that. And then formal wear, probably something like this. Boom, boom, boom. Swimsuit, and there we go. There we go. And what is his name? His name is Hezekiah Tiller. Alright, and then we need one more with that last name here. And we'll do the double dark skin for him. Boom. Echo, roll a d12.
Okay, here's nice bad. Roll 1d12 and got 10.
Okay, and that was Capricorn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that was 10. Okay, so do we want to just leave it like this? Incredibly lazy. Well, let's take a few points out of neat here and put them into lazy. And then I think that they might be a pleasure sim. Because they're very playful. They're not necessarily lazy or active or nice or grouchy, but they're just super playful. But they're not. There's not a whole lot of. Let's put some in. There we go. That's a pleasure sim. All right, awesome. And they like formal outfits and charismatic, and they don't like stink. There we go. And now for clothing for him, pleasure sim. He's got to be dressed up all the time, even in his everyday, right? Yeah, something like this. He's a raver. I don't know. Do I want to make him like a raver? Or whatever this is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like going to like raves and stuff like that. I can't remember. This is like 2005 is when Nightlife came out. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's very different. It's very different. And I also, the sexual orientation of these Sims is whatever they want. It's going to be set to default as no interest in either one, because they're going to be townies, and I want them to, my playable Sims to interact with them. So I don't know. He might be, gay. He might be straight. I'm not going to dress them to be either way. I'm not going to try to push that on them at all. I'm going to let that happen naturally. I don't really have any outlandish party clothes or formal clothes for him to wear, though. That's kind of a bummer. Probably, I don't know. I need something really fun, like maybe one of these, like a Hugh Hefner kind of thing. And then underwear, he'd probably be the kind to wear briefs, and I don't know. I doubt he would sleep in his shirt. There we go. And there we go. Looks good to me. And then his name will be, I think, Rocky. I think that's his name, Rocky Tiller. I didn't mean for it to makes like that, like you're tilling a rocky field, but I think he's a Rocky. Why are you moved? Yeah, I was gonna say, why couldn't I move you? Alright, so Rocky Tiller. And these will be the last two Sims I think I'm gonna make as townies. This is gonna be a very short video, but if you like it, maybe I'll make more for other neighborhoods, or maybe I'll make teens and or dormies. I don't know yet. But we're gonna start with double light, and then this guy will be double light. He'll be a dude. Brown hair is fine. That hair is actually probably fine. There we go. That's a template 2 sim right there. He is. He absolutely is. We'll give him a little bit of stubble and maybe some glasses. Maybe just, I don't know, just some basic eyeglasses there. There we go. And then his personality, Echo, roll a d12. Echo, roll a d12.
Okay, he starts bad. Roll 1d12 and got 11.
11. Okay, so we're going to be starting with Aquarius again. And we'll take a bunch out of Sloppy and put him into Playful. There we go. So this is not a family sim. He's very playful, though. Fairly nice. Not super outgoing. I'm going to go with popularity. I think he's a popularity sim. Awesome. He likes makeup. He likes makeup. He likes red hair, and he doesn't like super fit sims. He's not into fit sims. So let's get him some clothes. Popularity sim. I'm gonna want to want to dress kind of maybe like this. These are some of the very few custom clothing I have. Probably something similar, like for formal outings, just a simple suit, but one that makes him look like he's well dressed and, you know, out to mingle. And then undies probably doesn't matter too much. Whatever. And there we go. That's probably fine. All right, so this is Maurice. Maurice Adventure. And I named him Adventure because of the adventure career. Since it was added in Seasons, which, you know, is River Blossom Hills' origin. Now, he doesn't necessarily need to be an adventurer. Nobody in his family, if his family continues even, I don't know if it will, because he's a townie, he might be used just to be a friend. I'm not going to force these Sims into the story. They're just there to add to the population. But yeah, they don't need to be adventurers if they don't want to. So this is Maurice. And we're going to do one more, and she's going to have double dark skin. Black hair's probably fine. And we'll give her one of my favorite hairstyles in the game that we do have is this one right here. I love this hairstyle. It's the Sophie Miguel hairstyle, and I love it. I think it's definitely what we're going to go for with her now. Face template, Echo, roll a d12. And I think we're going to go ahead and give her face 1. The prettiest face in the game. That's even prettier than face 2, even though it's just a slight edit. We're going to give her that one, and we're just going to, you know, change it up a little bit. And make it look a little bit more unique. Alright, now I don't think we need to give her makeup. Let's go to her personality. Echo, roll a d12.
Okay, he starts bad. Roll 1d12 and got 6.
Okay, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a Virgo. Very neat. Very shy. Not super playful. I think, because they're like this. They're very shy and they're very active. I think that is a knowledge sim. I think that's very good for her. So she likes beards, she likes cooking, and she dislikes servos. There is one servo in the town right now. Alright, so then we're going to give her clothing. Let's give her some fairly nerdy clothing. Let's look in the university clothing and see what we can find there for her. Because there might be something like really nerdy in university clothing that might suit her really well. Or there might not be anything, who knows. There is no university clothing for women. Really? Am I an idiot? I feel like there would have been... There probably is when they're young adults. Okay. Well, let's find something else that's a little bit nerdy. These are the ones that I like to give to my, like, knowledge sims, just because they look like, you know, like a little vest here. And I think that fits her really well. Probably something similar-ish in formal, nothing like too showy, something more reserved for like a more calculated mind, I guess you might want to say. If there is anything, there really isn't too much in the formal for this, but maybe just something. I don't want a wedding dress. That's probably, whoa, that is a little bit more than I was expecting. I don't look at the clothing that often, if I'm honest. Even though I play this game a lot, I don't really look through the clothing. Maybe something like this. I think something like this. This is definitely something I think she would wear. And I like that. Like that. I think that's probably fine. Yeah, okay, cool. And then probably just like this here. And then her name is... I think her name is Sarah. But we're going to spell it like that. There we go. So that's Sarah, and what was his name? Maurice Adventure. And here are our townies, and I think they look great. I'm going to go ahead and turn them into actual townies, and hopefully they'll interact with the River Blossom playables. Again, nothing's going to be forced, they're just there for population-wise, but it's absolutely possible that they might marry into families and stuff like that. So let me know what you thought of this video, if you'd like to see more things like this. Because I would like to make maybe some dormies one day. Just because I have a lot of Sims that will go there, and that's usually where they'll meet their partner, if they don't meet them as, an adult. Maybe also one day I'll make some teens. Now, teens are a little bit different because I won't be able to make their outfits in Create a Sim. But it is something to think about. So yeah, please let me know. Also, if you enjoyed the video, if you would consider leaving a like down below. If you want to see more Sims content in general, maybe consider leaving a subscription. And I also have a Discord where we just talk about Sims and things like that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.